or live. Nice. What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the Bounty Hunters. How are you doing today, Mr. Kachong, who decided to finally grace us with his presence?
I know. I was driving last time. I actually had you guys on my phone listening to you.
I was so confused because you were like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna make it, guys. I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Hey, it happens." And then I look at the comment section. I'm like, he's in the comment section the whole time. I'm like, "What is he doing?"
You made a red light, and you quickly.
I should show you my cool.
The Valentine shirt.
I like that.
It's pretty neat.
Nice.
So, how was everyone's weekend? I'm trying to figure out how to work this thing.
Working the whole time, and as usual.
All right. So, what are we here to talk about today?
One of the better episodes, I think, in my opinion.
Spoiler alert! What in the hell? We're not getting right into that, are we? All right. Before we do, I know we had a little bit of Kachong's comments because we were getting some help from the friendly neighborhood Canadian. 1 out of 10. What did you think about last week's episode?
Oh, from last week?
Yes, sir.
Wait, the one we're talking about this week?
No. Episode 4. What did you think of episode
episode 4? Yeah. No, I thought it was okay.
Mm.
I'd say 6.5
Oh my God.
to 7.
What in the world? Sorry about that.
About 6.5 to 7. I really can't land on a number for that one.
I can't land on a number. No, that's good. I think that's fine. I think you can 6.5, 7 is good.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you guys pretty much covered all my points, though.
Yeah, with the Inquisitorius, with the trench coat leaving, the snow speeders.
Yep.
All right. Well, I would definitely say this is one of the better ones. I mean, we can go on as we talk. I just want to go over. I got a list here.
You can tell by the paper fluffle.
Yeah, well, here's the first part. I like the what do you call it? The way it was laid out, the way it was written, the structure of it. Structure is the word I'm looking for. So I, of course, Googled and I found out this is a totally different writer, and apparently it will be from now on. That makes me think that that's the one who got the shit can, and this is the guy trying to pick up the mess and the pieces because this is a way better. This is a professional writer. The other one, I don't know what the hell was going on.
Remember what our buddy was saying, that these last 2 episodes are written by a different person,
and that guy gets the
immediately.
He gets the little bitty trophy that says, "Yeah, do the best you can with this." I mean, I don't know what's happening next week. I might turn on him, but let's see. There's any overall stuff.
It makes you wonder if the original writer had maybe more episodes in mind, and they just kind of dragged it out a bit more, and then they said, "Nope, we're gonna do 6." So, new writer, you got 2 episodes.
Fix this immediately.
Jam it in.
Other than that, the only thing I would say was, I mean, anything that was keeping going from the last few episodes, it continues. So, like any other writing issues, weird kind of stuff. There's a few more, but other than that was pretty good. The only other thing that I thought I rolled my eyes pretty hard on was the fact that I don't know why Star Wars, and it's not Disney. I'm not blaming Disney. I'm putting it right there on Papa Bear. Why they just want to make all the troopers look like shit. So she bonks him on the head. He falls down, and today they had a Civil War battle line raging from one side to the other, and they couldn't hit nothing. And those farmers were like snipers. And I was like, what's happening?
That was my biggest nitpick for this episode, where I was like, no, it was ridiculous.
Okay, well, that was my only kind of like, what is that? Because I was like, why are they? Just because it's overall, I like the troopers. I think the stormtroopers look awesome. The clone troopers are even cooler. And just like piss on them like that when they just literally can't hit a bunch of farmers. Good Lord. Why are you so mean to them? I know it was a meme, but now it's just getting bad. We're like, why wouldn't Vader just turn around and go, "Are you serious?" And just wham, all their heads get cut off at once. Like, I need a whole new batch. These guys are terrible.
They even had a Gatling gun.
All right, so I don't even remember how it opens. I know that.
Well, we know how it opens. It's with your image you use for your thumbnail.
That's true. We can start that. Okay, I kind of pieced together all of the things. So I'm going to show you the Kenobi flashback. So this is straight into spoilers. Disney, I know that you own all the rights to these, and I said my hat to thee. Of course you do. I plan on earning nothing for this. I just thank you for your ability to allow me to use this. So the only thing I would say about this, clearly, we waited too long for this. They teased it, and then they're finally giving it to us now. We could talk about the de-aging process. Well, it wasn't the best.
I was gonna say I legitimately thought they did. Like looking at it, I was like, I don't think they de-aged them. I
don't think he did either.
Makeup on Hayden. That's what I thought they did.
And there's a lot of reports. There's a lot of reports that they definitely had a TV budget. This was not Mandalorian where they had $100 million.
This whole it was weird.
Yeah, they legitimately have a TV budget, and this is one of the not one of the only times, but this is definitely one of the times where I'm thinking, yeah, if Marvel can de-age and make it look amazing, and it looks like Anakin looks like he's been smoking crack. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it looks like he's been smoking crack for like 10 years. I wasn't
expecting you this soon. It's still lit in the corner.
And then I would say this little sparring session I have written down here. I believe it takes place before the Attack of the Clones because he still has his arm. That's what I came up with.
Oh, wait, no, yes, I wasn't even obviously seeing a second. I can't remember if he had no gloves on or not.
No. He doesn't. He has his arm. Yeah. So,
I thought it was. I was gonna say first off, I thought it was a huge surprise that of the flashbacks we got so far, it was Attack of the Clones flashback that we got.
Yeah,
I was like, that's interesting that they went that far.
I think this is it. And throughout the show, obviously, when I want to put them all together, you can't see it. Throughout the show, this is when I'm thinking I was going to compliment the writer, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think this is a moment where they did well, where it's like was a little over the top, a little bit. The fact that he's like, I wonder what Vader's going to do here, and then he thinks back to him fighting. You know what I mean? And they showed you that, and then it made sense. Like it wasn't just this jumble stuff. These clips made sense. They were in a good place where you knew that he was still teaching him a lesson about
the thematic. Yeah, going through the whole episode.
I will say again, I know I said I was going to shit on it, but here's another little issue that I did have with it though. If you're going to say that the reason why this worked because Vader's over aggressive, I know we read the comic books. I said last week, if you heard it, Kachung, after watching people not realize that Ahsoka lives through everything, spoiler alert if you don't know, then that's when I was like, okay, there definitely is a level of stardom or fandom. I mean, knowing comic books, knowing books, Vader would never sit on the ship and send the underlings down to watch him screw it up again. He's already escaped like 4 times. So if he's over aggressive and over, confident, I don't know if he's going to say, well, go down there and see what you can do. I'll put you in the game. Go down there, number 14. Let's see how you score a touchdown. I think he would have came down himself, but obviously we needed story. So, all right, so here's the clip.
Oh, there you are. Was beginning to think you weren't coming. Then maybe I stand more of a chance this time. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Grow too aggressive, Anakin. Be mindful.
Why, you're good. Lose.
There. Your need for victory, Anakin, it blinds you. You're a great warrior, Anakin. But your need to prove yourself is your undoing. Until you overcome it, a Padawan you will still be.
I always love seeing a good old force pull on the lightsaber.
Yeah, the last part where they're kind of rolling around on their knees right there was actually pretty cool. Like that's a pretty cool. Like
He's so condescending though.
What's up, Biggie? What's happening?
Yeah, funny enough, looking at that again, I actually think Hayden looks better than Ewan. I think he looks more
easy.
appropriate.
Let's be easy. Don't.
I think it's Kenobi's hair. Look, it
You
doesn't
don't you don't think the wig was
I
high end wig?
I don't think it's as Jesus looking as a.
They made it look though like he finally felt Anakin's strength. Like he was really struggling there for a couple of moments.
Yeah.
Starting to get worried.
And then it did show obviously that I get what they were doing, but when I was hearing him talk to Anakin, like, "Hey, you're doing this," and he's like, "Well," he had his like this kind of Cobra Kai moment where he's like, "Pity is for the weak." When he was doing this, it was a little bit like, "Wow, Kenobi, he's openly talking to you about like Sith tenants right down the line," and you're like, "I don't know what happened. I don't know why."
I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yeah, that was a little bit.
You'll always be a Padawan.
When the kid in class says something really suspicious, teacher goes, "I think I'm just gonna ignore that today."
So no wonder he rebelled.
After he did the little fight scene, he's like, he's coming for me. It's happening. So they go down there. They send her down, and she decides to pull out a cannon, and they start firing. Here's part 3 of some issues I have. They have a little conversation, and the biggest, "Oh my gosh, it can't be" moment happens. We found out that she was actually a Padawan that everyone had called after like 5 minutes of the first episode. That wasn't really a gotcha moment.
At least we had more character development in like
a
minute.
And I was applauding that because I do like
it was much more important.
Yeah, and both because we got it with the chick that I like too, the spy. We got a little bit of background for her later on too. To find out, right before, spoiler alert, before they get rid of her, we found
the only one of those rebels to die, and Wrecker, of course.
We'll get into it later, but I do have an issue with that. Now, here's the first part. So they decide to pound this door for 400 years. They have a conversation. He was like, "Search your feelings, you know it to be true." And she was like, "I'm not listening to you, Kenobi, because you're the one that failed Anakin." And I feel like every time somebody says that, Kenobi, the feel we're supposed to get is, "Of course he didn't. Listen, that's my boy. Look, he's back there. Of course he failed him. There was about 1,000 freaking warnings that were going off everywhere. He was crazy. How many people did he kill? Just like, remember in the Clone Wars, he's sitting there talking. Remember when they held him hostage? And he was like, "What are you going to do, Kenobi?" And then Anakin walked up and just stab. That's how you fix that problem. It's like, walks off. I'm like, what in the world? Like, you're not supposed to do that. So yeah, of course he did. So then she takes a lightsaber and this cuts the door and we enter. So how come we were pounding it for 15 minutes with guns? I mean, I know.
When you could just stab it and
for the scary thing. Also, we'll get to that in a minute, but remember the stabbing through the door because Disney is setting up an interesting issue they're going to start having pretty soon with all this. But all right, so what did you guys think about the little conversation they were having?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I was happy that CB actually had some development there, and that seemingly that. Obviously, she is scared of Vader, and she's like Kenobi's trying to convince her to like turn on him. And I was happy that we were getting more development there, but it's funny to think that her saying her anger towards Kenobi and her like all that was because he failed Anakin. That's what led to them all. When she was willingly standing next to the guy who did it all and doesn't seem as angry or willing to just quickly attack him.
It was when your hate and your anger is what it is and you have childhood trauma, I get it that maybe you can justify stuff. But like you just said, they were hanging out for like 10 years apparently while they're doing horrible things to seemingly children and innocents. And she was just like, "I'm going to kill that bastard for being so mean 20 years ago, even though I've been over here stabbing and cutting myself like the whole way." It is a little bit kind of like, what? But,
I think Anakin would have become Vader anyway.
Yeah.
With or without Kenobi.
But his drinking buddy probably should have maybe said, "Hey, man, listen, you got to take it down a notch." It was clear that everyone know that he was banging, the senator. So like at some point, somebody might have stepped in on that one too. Be like,
he just shouldn't have,
you're not really hiding your affair there, friend. So before that happened, though, we did find out that the Lola thing, it's called Lola, right? The little robot.
Oh yeah.
Not only had a tracker, but apparently had a amazing chip that can rewire it to do its bidding. Just because I don't really know how they were controlling that. I didn't see a little iPhone watch. She was
Yeah, I was gonna say
flying around.
that's a pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
autonomy.
they can fly through the universe. I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. I just thought it was weird that it suddenly was like, let me go screw up this wiring. And then everyone seemed okay because of her size. Let's send the princess up there because everyone knows part of being a princess is
being an electrician.
Electrical engineering, of course.
Well, it was funny. That was really funny because they were like, I was like, why would she even know what? And then I was like, oh, the telemarketer said, oh, he said it was the red one. It was the red one, and in there, and like half the wires are red.
Yeah, I did watch a review this time around too. A guy that I think is pretty fair, it's pretty even, and he was like, listen, we saw her daddy building an android at like 7 with slave wages and parts. So I think we can let her go on this wire. And I was like, you know what? Fair enough. Maybe it's just in the DNA there that. I thought it was weird when I first watched the movie too. I was like, I know he's supposed to be like super smart, but where is he even doing all this? He's just building this R2D2 in his bathroom, his bedroom.
Totally in the genes. I mean, so the whole ladder thing, I had issues with. Like, just get her a ladder. All right, everyone was okay with that. Her getting up into there and being an electrician.
They had the ladder on hand.
Right. But, I mean, I'm guessing she probably built Lola and programmed her. So Lola probably had all the skills that she had.
Yeah.
And so I warmed up to it. The fact that her dad was pretty cool with robots and fixing stuff. So she should probably be too, just genetically, and using the Force and all that that she didn't even know she had, right?
Force electronically engineered.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got during her conversation, we got the flashback, which I actually thought was pretty cool because it showed his actual face.
Yeah.
Going through there, killing them all. And she makes a point to say, we thought he was there to save us, and he killed us, and that's what I guess gave her the original trauma. So we found that out. Then Kenobi decides that he's going to give up and let himself be turned in.
You're before he does that is when what's it called? When all the stormtroopers miss every shot. And, And then the lady dies and Wrecker dies. The only casualties.
Guess we can confirm it wasn't Wrecker. No blood came out of there, so that's. I never thought he was Wrecker. By the way, I was gonna put that out there. That was. I just thought it was somebody in there. Anyways,
they have a figure of him now.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. So the spy lady, she gives her story about how she was there. I think it was like 7 or 8 Force sensitive families, and they cut them all down. And she said, "I'm not about this life." And to give them time, like most movies, I'm not mad at it. The kind of one you're rooting for a little bit jumps on the grenade or does something, blows up. You're like, oh, not that guy or not that gal. And it really only buys them about 15 seconds of time. Like it didn't really buy them any time at all. So, and a lot of movies do it where it's like, why did they blow themselves up? Clearly wasn't going to like actually save the day. It's like, okay, got the door closed and the person holding the lightsaber could just rip it back open again. So I'm not really sure what the point was. Yeah. It is what it is. She had a nice death. She had a redeeming death. I think was kind of the point of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
he gives himself up.
Kenobi does give himself up. She goes to tell Vader we got him.
And sends him back in with 2 stormtroopers.
Yes. Then we send in Kenobi behind a closed door, of course, with 2 stormtroopers, and somehow he escapes. I don't know how that's possible, but somehow he manages.
Like, was that her plan? Because of like she was gonna betray Vader? Was that her plan?
I kind of think so. Like,
I had to imagine that was the only thing that made. I was like, that was her plan, though, right? But then
I think
so long to get up behind Vader.
What I think happened was, what I think her plan was, she listened to Kenobi because Kenobi pulled a little little razzle dazzle, little shadiness on this one. He was like, "Look, help me take him down." She gives him a situation he can escape from easily. She's like, "Okay, when Vader goes in there to find him, I'm gonna sneak behind him. They're probably in the middle of a fight. I'll cut down Vader." Except for, oops, Kenobi was like, "Peace, bitches," and like left her there, which was hilarious. So then we got one of the cooler moments of Vader showing his Force powers. I also clipped it. I combined it with what I think is the inspiration behind this.
Oh, it is confirmed to be the inspiration.
So let's see it. All right. So there is Vader, and there is his not quite canon yet, but boy, are they doing a lot of hinting here lately. They're doing a lot of whispering.
Oh yeah.
That is his secret Padawan, I guess would be Padawan.
That sacrifice to the poor droid who probably was manning that little ship.
I had to cut that. I watched the whole thing, but then I cut that part because it's getting too long. But yeah, that's awesome that they did that. It's like a couple of times now. I feel like they've hit that
2 or 3 times now. Yeah, at least with the other. Yeah.
So yeah. So what happens right there is while he takes that one down, Kenobi and the crew are on the second ship, and they went ha ha as they flew off, and Vader stood and watched. Now, I did think it was weird. Like I feel like Vader could just grab that one too if he wanted to. But I was fine with that. The part that I thought was the weirdest, here we go, is the fight. This is her moment. Vader's staring off into space.
You're gonna bring
I'll
up
get you crazy kids. So
this
I had to. This is still long. I'm sorry. Come on, Disney, but you did a good show. So these clips are long. Let's do this. There that is.
I did love how much he was toying with her, though.
He was. Yeah. If he was an Asian fellow with a long beard and he was constantly stroking it, though, there was a lot of kung fu inspired stuff there where he's kind of like using one hand to.
I thought you were going to show the part which I was like, okay, obviously he's going to censor regardless, but when she walks up behind him, the lightsaber lifts it and goes, just screams full force.
That was the part I wanted to talk about, and I meant to get that part, but I didn't because
obviously senses are regardless. But like the scream, like
here's the thing though: if I have a knife and I want to stab you, and I'm pretty sure you know I'm there, do I stand back 10 feet, pull the knife out, put it above my head, take off running towards you, and hope for the best, or do I walk up to you as quietly as I can and just quickly stab you? So
ignite it in your back, basically.
Listen, it's the movie that we're not going to discuss, okay? We're not allowed to discuss it on this here channel. But they already proved that you can put the lightsaber to their head, hit the button, and it makes a cool scene. If that is something that is known, then why? This is not this show's fault. This is what Star Wars does. Why do we have that moment where, and it looks cool, I know why they do it, where you're sneaking up on the guy, then you're like, today is
That's
where it
the
ends.
loudest
No. Walk up, put the lightsaber behind him, then turn it on. So you get this, you get the nasty the cut. But it is what it is, I guess.
It was fun seeing him not use his lightsaber. Him being like, "Yeah, no, this is not worth me, like having to rehook this to my belt after. This is not worth that."
I was hoping that when she started spinning, that she would just helicopter away.
I think if she did that, if that happened, it would be the most lore accurate thing that's happened so far. But it would be the funniest scene. It would be used everywhere. That clip.
There
clip
would be so many memes and clips of when she flies off. But it would have been amazing. Okay, so here's my problem that I said, my biggest problem. My biggest problem is now you have set a precedence where Darth Maul can be cut in half. Survives. You have now 3 or 4 gut shots that have been stabbed. She was stabbed as a little bitty kid, and that little bitty kid, they showed it.
I'm still confused by that.
So they showed him stabbing her, same face, same everything. I guess somebody confirmed that she was stabbed as a kid. I guess somebody interviewed somebody. She stabbed at a kid, so the hole in her chest must have been huge. She survives that, apparently. She gets stabbed again as an adult. She's surviving that. The Grand Inquisitor stabbed in the chest. He survives that. We already saw Kenobi's lightsaber bounce off the armor of a stormtrooper. What are we doing with the lightsabers? And they will cut through a metal door that their big blaster gun couldn't cut through. So they're making this thing getting kind of silly now. All these people getting stabbed in the chest. And also, Kenobi's mentor, what happened with this guy? He's got to be pissed, right? He's got to be like, what the hell? He's sitting there as a Force ghost thinking, what the hell? I take one small little stab to the chest. I'm dead as a doorknob. He was dead before he hit the ground. Everybody else is just cutting in halves and
lying on the table as they're dumping oil on him to burn him. He's like, wait, guys, I'm still good.
I only got stabbed once.
Just take my clothes off, get me in the underwear, shove me in the back of the tank. I'll be okay.
And then the other thing that I didn't think was necessary, unless they want to do another flashback if it was Vader, because they did it as in per point of view. To me, the only way this makes sense if they showed Vader's flashback of him realizing at that moment when he stabbed her, oh my God, I stabbed this chick 20 years ago. But it wasn't. It was her point of view. And he says, you don't think I didn't remember you, little one?
No, youngling. You didn't think I remember you, youngling.
So what? You've been letting her roll with you? You've been letting her be a part of the crew? She's been dropping bodies for you back there, and you knew the whole time she was plotting on you? Like, what in the world? Like, that's a weird thing to do. Like, what are we doing?
I can see it, though, because Vader has done that with other people where he's let them just, like, live out. He's like, I'm gonna kill you regardless. You're weak as hell. I'm just gonna let you live it out and get some of my dirty laundry done for me first.
Okay, but that's like over a few weeks. We're talking like 10, 15 years he allowed her to roll.
Well, no, because we don't know when she joined up with the Inquisitors, right? Because they said they picked her out of the trash. So she couldn't have been like, they wouldn't have adopted her when she was a youngling into the Inquisitors. No, she would have been older.
But I just think that if you had took that moment to, two things, I think. When Vader watched the ship fly by, because a lot of people have asked about it, I didn't think it was that big a deal. He watched ship fly off. I didn't. I thought watching Kenobi get carried off by Wrecker, I thought that was a little more, what the hell? Why did he just watch him walk off?
I think he wanted to exhaust his force powers doing a yanking.
But I think you didn't even need to do that. Here's another thing. Here's another piece of advice. I know they want me to help them. I know they want me to help an editor for them. If at that moment that the ship starts to fly off, she comes running at him to scream. Now the scream actually somewhat makes sense, because he's going to turn to figure out why somebody's screaming at him. And that moment, the ship flies off. Do you know what I mean? That like half of a second difference would have made sense for the ship to fly off.
Yeah, Davey did grab the second ship, or he was reaching out to grab it, and then she attacks him.
And then she attacks him. Then he has to drop it, and they that to me
simple stuff, and it would have cut. It also would have cut some more runtime down from you.
Yes, and honestly, to me also, anybody who has an issue with any of the stuff, how long did he know it? I mean, whatever. We explained he likes playing with his food, but at the same time, if you had just saw it from his point of view, that he's remembering at that moment, son of a bitch, this is the same chick I stabbed, then it kind of makes a little more sense to me. Like he realizing who it was or something, than him saying, oh yeah, he's been riding with her for 12 years, knowing damn well she's been plotting on him. Like, I mean, it's a Sith thing. Siths plot on each other, but I feel like that could have got cleaned up a little bit. All right. So what did you guys think of the? Not really a fight scene. Is that a fight scene or is that like?
It was
What is that stretching thing like? Something chi or whatever? Were you like?
It was the best Matrix fight we've gotten since the original. I liked it. I did like how he was toying with her, and then he literally takes her own lightsaber, throws her the other half, and is like, "I can still beat you with your own stick."
When I watched it, I was like, "Sweetheart, don't pick that lightsaber up. Don't pick it up. Like, don't pick it up. This ain't gonna go well for you. Just don't pick it up. Like, you're gonna try and you're gonna do some cute little spins or something, but he just took your life. He just clutched your heart away. You have no chance, and now you're like, let me pick up the lightsaber."
I mean, he already picked her up with the force choke and probably could have killed her then.
Oh, easily snapped the neck, yeah.
Even need the lightsaber.
But I have a feeling the one that cannot be disappointed was probably had a big shit-eating grin on his face, and that is Ka-Chung. When you saw this fight, were you pretty happy about this fight?
Oh yeah.
I knew he would be. That's the first person I thought of when I saw the
crap out of it.
That's like Ka-Chung's gonna love this fight.
And then she just helicopters off.
Yeah, that would have been a piece to.
Look, we're putting some stuff together here. Disney, hit us up, man. We got some stuff where we gotta get a helicopter off.
I can't wait for the deleted scene of it. Probably.
The best part is if she helicoptered off, and that's when we got the Grand Inquisitor saying, "Where are you going?" And after, and then we had a helicopter chase scene with the lightsabers. That'd have been amazing. So speaking of him, so Vader, of course, doesn't take him very long. He stabs her, but we all know that's the worst move you can make. Don't stab them, cut their arms off or something because they can't live.
You gotta just behead them. That's the ultimate trick.
So the best part, and to me, I don't even know if it's very. What do you guys think? I don't know how in character this is, and if it is, it's like interesting.
The Grand Inquisitor.
And he allows his boy to walk in after he stabbed her and she's bleeding on the ground. He's like,
I loved it.
Talk some shit. I'm gonna sit back and watch him. He's like, what happened to you? What happened?
That was my favorite. He walks up. There's someone I've already seen online like edits where they got rid of what he says. He just walks up. It's like, hello, and then that's it. No, yeah. Hello, third sister.
The icing on the cake is he takes her Girl Scout badge.
Yeah, that was he takes a pen. He's like, back on me here.
Because this is what makes me a Grand Inquisitor. This Girl Scout badge.
I just thought it was weird because I don't know if Vader has the time or the patience to listen to trash talk. You know what I mean? He's very
I don't know.
Small.
I mean, choking on your aspirations. Vader would happily.
That's him talking trash. I don't know how long he's going to let somebody else talk trash.
Vader's probably standing behind him after he says that line. He's like, I'm going to use that sometime then. I'm going to use that line.
Because if he sit there and listen to him talk trash, Vader had to be smiling. Like, I know he probably doesn't smile often, but he had to be like, this guy, I took her out and he's talking the trash. He walked in and said, oh, you got knocked out. What happened?
We could have used like a little a wheezing laugh by Vader, like wheezing laughing in the back.
Oh my god, the nerds ever would have rioted if he was laughing like that. It was funny because he really was like the Great Inquisitor was that guy that after his friend knocks out the guy, he comes running in going, oh, like I should have clipped one of.
He's the hype man. He was the ultimate hype man
of Friday. Whenever he punched the guy, and he's like, "You got knocked the fuck out!" Like I should have clipped it of Smokey running over there going, "Oh," because that was. And then, so they just say, we're going to leave you back in the gutter. They turn around and leave.
That was the other nitpick thing for me.
Yeah. They've already seen that don't nobody die from a gut shot. Like that ain't death.
He walked in the room with the hole still in him, probably.
Yeah. And they left her there to die. No, she ain't going to die. Like if I had been there and I was the stormtrooper number 2, I'd be like, sir, do you want me to put one in the back of her head? Because y'all don't die from these things.
Execute Order 66, please. You want me?
Because she doesn't die from this. Why are you guys doing this?
So my only presumption, based on that, and obviously she grabs the what would you call that, the device, the communication device,
plot
device, yeah. So obviously, my only assumption why she'd still be alive is because Kenobi's gonna kill her in the next episode. But
doubt it. I can almost bet you $1,000 she lives. There's no way they're gonna kill her off. Disney has too much invested in her. They're not killing her off. I'm not gonna bet you $1,000 because I was wrong about Wrecker being in the suit. But I don't think she's dying. I don't think Disney's gonna kill her. I don't think. So.
Hey, you have a good bet here. I'm pretty sure they're gonna kill her. If they kill her, then you're gonna have to get You're gonna have to get me the Wrecker bot for that series.
If they don't kill her, then you got to get
give you the
Omega.
Reva.
You got to get an Omega tattoo on your heart or something. You got to do something like outrageous.
Omega net tattoo. It's just Omega right across.
Spelled out like that. Omega. I don't think they're gonna kill her, but anyway. So yeah,
Katrine, what do you think, Ben?
I do have a
If she
problem.
gets her own show, then they're probably gonna make it, a
I
prequel.
might cancel my Disney Plus subscription.
You better be easy because if they keep her, they're gonna make her like an anti-hero. I'm telling you right now, that's what they're gonna do.
No, they'll tell the story up until this point.
They're gonna tell her times in her non like,
like with Andor, like we know what happens to him. But
all right, so here's the other little issue that I have, and I know it's for plot reasons, but you've spent your entire life now with your daughter to make sure no one finds out that the giant killer attack android robot guy that will murder anybody in sight, kill entire villages if he has to, doesn't know where his kids are. How hard is this? Hey, friend, where are you? Do you think he knows about the thing we know about? I'm going to go to the other guy and check out stuff. Have a great day. What the hell is Organa doing? It's like, hey, Kenobi, Vader's kids. I know he didn't go that far, but I'm just saying, Vader's kids. I got one. You got one. I'm going to go over to the other one and find out where it happened on this planet with this guy. I'll be there Sunday at 2. What the hell was that? I was like, why is he talking?
Brunch.
And then what does Kenobi do? Does he delete it? Does he snap it in half? Does he set it on fire? No, he puts it in his pocket and he gives it to the fake Jedi guy. The most critical piece of information in the world.
I was gonna say, I don't think giving it to that guy would be the best idea.
It should
And
have
that guy immediately drops it and is like,
it should self-destruct after 7 seconds.
Such smoking immediately. Oh yeah, by the way, this bitch is gonna blow. You better throw it.
Yeah, no. I can only imagine there's no way. Yeah. There is no way Vader will be on Tatooine. There's no way he's gonna be going there. I cannot see that happening.
No, I think that they're gonna catch up with them somehow. There's gonna be some.
They said that the ship, the hyperdrive is busted.
Yeah. So they'll catch up and they'll have a fight. And
probably on Vader's ship, they'll have a fight, and then
Kenobi will best him because he has no choice. Because God dang it, that better not lose that. When I left you, I was but that better not just be stupid. That there better be a besting moment. Here's a question.
He's gonna walk up to Vader. He's gonna go.
Somebody pointed out, I don't remember who, but there was an interview that Christensen did where he was talking about, I forgot how he worded it, but it really did sound like, so I'll put this to you guys. Are they going to have a Rebels moment where they break his helmet and we see him inside of it? Do you think they're going to have that moment when they fight?
I would like to see that. That would be really cool.
I don't remember how he worded it.
This is probably the best time you could do it with him.
Yeah, he said something about being in the helmet or something. I can't remember how he worded it. And so the person leaped to that, but then it got me always wondering if they're going to do it.
What's funny is technically so far we haven't actually so far Hayden actually hasn't been in the suit. It's been all the other actors. The only times we've seen of Hayden was the flashbacks and the back to tank. His undies. And
so that's why I wonder, we have to be able to see him because he had made a point of saying that he was in it. And so I think the only way I could think of they're not gonna, I mean, I guess he could do the whole take off the helmet thing and
no, I don't think that would.
That doesn't seem likely. I think it's more likely he's gonna take
a head.
How funny would this be if Kenobi or maybe the chick hits him with the lightsaber and it cuts his helmet, just sends it off, but yet chest plate on the stormtrooper bounces right off, baby. How funny if they messed that little thing up.
Well, no, it's just gonna be Kenobi just standing over him, smacking him for 10 minutes until it comes off.
But they haven't shown him in this with putting the helmet on, with the machine.
Nope.
I could have sworn
okay, they did in the episode 2, the end of it.
They show him coming out of the back.
Episode 3, sorry, they show all the parts coming on to him, but and then they show the mask coming down, but they cut it. They don't show. They don't show. The fifth member isn't here to correct me, so I can lie if I'm wrong.
I don't have any.
What
notifications.
about in what was it? Rogue One?
Yep.
Did they show him doing that?
No, I watched that the other day. Actually, he's just in the back to tank. The water goes down, and then it cuts to Krennic standing there when Vader enters.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I don't know, but I'm thinking because he said it could just be he just misspoke. Like maybe he is in the suit, we just don't see it, and that was like what he wanted to be in. But it seems weird that they would have he'd make a point to talk about how happy he was to actually be in the helmet again, unless they're gonna see him in the helmet. That just seems weird. So maybe it's a flashback, or maybe we see in the future of him. Star Wars likes that too, so that might be what it is. That might just be him after they fight and Kenobi gets away, of him, 5 years from now putting the helmet on. It could be that too.
Okay. I just took a look at it quickly. Yeah, so it shows the front going on, the back going on, helmet's lowered. It just has, you see Hayden's face, helmet lowers on top, and then it cuts away to Kenobi again. I'm pretty sure that's probably CGI all the whole way through going on. So,
but anyway, that being said, this is by far the best episode of.
It was very good. I think that new writer should have been the writer on at least. We'll see how this new last episode is. It's also based on this finale already.
We don't know what the last episode is going to be in store for us. Take it easy. But so far, I really like the way this one was. I did like the way he laid it out, and it was done well. The director, to me, is still not the best.
Now, if this last episode, the episode 6, nails it out of the park, would that redeem the episodes 2 through 4 for you guys? Make the show better? Rewatchable, at least.
I mean, I would watch again because I'm a Star Wars nerd. But I mean, it's kind of what I said. If you remember episode 1, all these things can be fixed, but it feels like it didn't need to be, and I still hold strong on that. Like none of the stuff they did needed to be done. Like it didn't need to go the way they did. I think they took a really long, and it might just because of the situations, the budgets. They found out they're basically writing the same story as Mandalorian, so they had to do some quick, sidestepping, and that never makes for good writing. So, but yeah, even so far, as long as they don't totally shit the bed on the last one, it's kind of ending the way we all kind of predicted it to end when we watched the first one. Like it's gonna have to be, or first 2, I guess. It's gonna have to go this way. We're gonna have to think that she was one of the younglings. And even when they try to explain her, and the reason why I don't think another reason she's gonna die is they explained her for a righteous reason. Why did she kill people? Is because she was so upset what Vader did to her. She's trying to right a wrong. And that's another reason why they're going to kill her. And they might try to make her into an anti-hero, which sucks because the one thing I did like about her was that she was the only ruthless Sith of the whole lot. The rest are a bunch of bootlickers. But
corporate guys.
Yeah. That is kind of what they act, though, isn't it? It's kind of like they're waiting for the 401k. Listen, if I get rid of one of you guys, I move up in the food chain one more time. That's a bonus. I'll get dental at that point. Like it didn't really kind of feel like that. It's like they were very worried about their line.
You get your free badge, as June says. You get your free Girl Scout badge.
I want to be able to go to all of them and be like, whisper, hey, in like 10 years, nobody even knows you guys exist. Spoiler alert, you might want to plan on a different retirement because something happens. Because nobody know y'all ever existed 10 years from now.
Might want to join the IBA instead.
With that being the case, I actually think here's the problem. Like, I think I would raise this one up to an 8, solid 8, 8.5 even. I'd go pretty high on this one. But because I did that, looking back on some of the other episodes, I think all those are going to get knocked down like a 0.5. Because I like the way this one was, and it just kind of reminded me how bad some of the structure and some of the writing were in some of the other ones where they were just almost nonsensical at times.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing is that, yeah, this one's going to be a pretty high one for me, but then it almost kind of knocks down some of the other ones a little bit because it just kind of reveals some of the issues we had. All right, Kachung, what did you give it? Oh, he's muted. We'll go with the old Hoosier.
Funny enough, I would actually give it around the same thing, about 8 as well, close to 8.5. My thing is I wouldn't give it a 9 based on the fact that Like literally none of those rebels died the entire time except for the one.
That
Like,
is the
you're
problem.
killing me. Like I went back. Like there's no way not one of them just fell over and had to just pretend to be dead, right? Like no, none of them died except for her. And that, and then the her not dying obviously is just kind of a weird moment for me. Like little nitpicky things like that. But otherwise, I think other than the first episode, this is my favorite for sure. And I really enjoyed this one. I think it actually made me excited for the finale, opposed to, okay, here we go, time to wrap it up. So eight's a good number for me.
All right, and I can't tell because I'm looking at this. What does is he back or is he still muted?
He's here. He's back. Kajun.
All right, what did you think? What
Yeah,
did you give it?
I agree. I was going to give it an 8. I think it's my favorite. I think it had the most character development than any other episode.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, I liked all the fight scenes. I love seeing Vader in his prime, like comic strong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was actually surprised they did it, like honestly, because when I played that game originally, I've actually played like 5 times. When I played it originally, I remember my first response was, "Holy crap, am I bringing this ship down?" And then my almost exact next response was, "That's a little silly." Like I remember even as a kid, I was like, "Wow, that's a little much." Like you're just gonna snatch the ship out of the sky and bring it down, like. So then
he just tears the side off, like
yeah. And then so when I was playing that game as a kid, I was like, so how are you going to, there's more to this game. So how do I turn around and just look at a stormtrooper and be like, I just ripped a damn ship out of the sky. What is the point of even fighting the rest of these guys? Let's be on his finger, like just kind of like get away. Because it's like, wow, that's a crazy amount of level. So out of 10,
I was thinking that that flashback fight scene at the start, back to Attack of the Clones period.
Mm-hmm.
I think they maybe went back that far so they can put another flashback fight scene in.
I was gonna say one thing specifically about that was that
a bit further on,
his hair. It's funny they actually his episode 2 like flashback, and all the interviews, his hair, Hayden's hair, in that is very distinct because before like all the conventions leading up to this and all that, up to like his announcement for Kenobi, he all had really short hair. And then in the interviews, he has longer hair, but he has a very distinct hair. It looks much like the Clone Wars does, where it has the back spikes out and the top's long, but like it looks like his Clone Wars hair, not like anything else.
Like between 2 and 3.
Yeah. So I
think we'll get 2 fights in this last episode.
Oh yeah, I can see that. They start fighting and then Kenobi or Vader start flashing back to the fight they had before in another sparring session. I could totally see that.
Yep.
And I'll be down with that. I don't want it to break up. Like if it's a sweet fight between Kenobi and Vader, I don't necessarily want it to be broke up with flashbacks really fast. Like I wouldn't mind one long scene, no cuts, no nothing. Like, I know that's really hard.
I mean, it'd be nice that they say, but leading into the fight, but just before they begin, they're both thinking about like what's going to happen. Yeah. And then they were both remembering a moment.
Back when Anakin had the high ground, you know?
He came in carrying a step stool on a ladder under his arm, set it up.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's a long episode too.
Oh, I looked at the runtime. It's the longest. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, it is the longest or second longest. Let me see. Let me double check.
But it's not like it's like double. It's not like it's 2 hours or anything.
It's 51 minutes.
Cool.
The first episode was 56. It's the second longest episode, but again, that runtime also includes the opening, the credits, and so it's probably closer to like 45 minutes.
Now I have okay, we'll talk about that next week though.
Oh, one thing I want to bring is that a friend at work who brought he's a big Star Wars fan too, and he's a big fan with what is it? He's getting back into the series as well, and he's been going.
Where's he at? I don't see him in the comments section. Where is he?
Because he's probably working. So
Where are you, friend?
So the he's getting back into the series more, and he's finding more things he likes. And he really likes Maul. And he brought it to me. He's like, "Do you think they'll bring Maul into this?" And I'm like, "There's no way they would do it at the like I'm obviously everyone would like to see that moment from Rebels, but I said I'm like it's not going to work out based on what they've been doing with the story. But Do you think there's a chance we're gonna get some surprise in like how we got Luke at the end of Mandalorian, or how we got Mandalorian at the end of Boba Fett?
Here's what
surprise. Maybe even like a small like a cameo, not like a actual pivotal thing.
Here's
like
what
like a Rex showing up in a flashback.
Here's what I would say. I would say no, but it's because I wonder. You see that comic book behind Kachung right there of sexy, slightly older Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic, yeah.
I actually wonder. Do you think they're going to do another little mini series of what he did after this little episode?
Like a sequel, you mean?
Yeah, because like if this was 2-part series, like if the first part, I would say the first part's how he's gonna deal with the Vader. The second part is kind of like how they're gonna get him back to being ready to be old man Kenobi. Are we gonna see? Do you guys think any more, or just 6 and it's done? Because I think if they added Maul, unless it's like.
I would think it would just be like a moment, like how Solo had a moment of him. It wouldn't be like an actual role.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like they've already done that of him being there, so I don't know what it would do other than just watching fan nerds react videos on YouTube. Like I don't really know.
That's all it's gonna have.
I'm not saying no.
I would wager we might get a Rex, if anything. That would be the cameo we'd see.
Yeah, I don't think Maul's necessary. I think you could do some. If you needed another one, you could. But I just kind of wonder if they're not going to do maybe not another Kenobi, but something like Life and Times of Jabba the Hutt or something, and then he makes a few
2 Jawas in a trench coat, and then
something like that. Just because I feel like, well, maybe this is just me wanting them to do something where it explains how he gets to. I can't make a noise happen at the end of a hallway. To I'm assuming fighting and winning against Vader. To being there to train Luke. Like I feel like there needs to be, but maybe they sew it all up. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they just in 50 minutes they fight it and convince me that this is going to be fine in 50 minutes. 48 probably
will be a second series.
You don't think so?
I think they will be.
Oh, I think they could. Other than,
I think that if they do, they're setting it up for the possibility of it if fans are receptive.
Yeah,
but they're not going to announce it because they would have. I think they would have already announced it how they did with they already announced like a million seasons of Andor, and they announced Bad Batch season 2. They would have done that they would have announced the second season of Kenobi already.
And because I don't know what story they would tell with the Kenobi one, if he's for sure stay on the plane and going,
it would just be adapting probably all the.
Yeah, so that's why I would think that if they did a different story, I don't know who they would do this time. I don't know. Maybe a Maul, maybe a Crimson Sun or something. I don't know. And then they have like one episode where they go back and what is Kenobi doing? Let's check on him, fans. Like, then that would be okay, I guess. But I just don't know what story they would tell if they had a Kenobi season 2. Like, I'm not sure what the story would be. Today he's cutting whale, and tomorrow he might go after what are those rats called? Womp rats or
rats?
Yeah, like he'll be fighting for those for his dinner. I don't know. So I think that's it.
Preschool Grogu.
Any final thoughts before we go to comic book news notes?
I liked it. I'm excited for the finale tonight to watch it, and hopefully it lives up to what this episode put it up to. The pedestal put it on.
All right. Well, then let's just go straight into it. Let me do. Let's do news.
Yeah. Chris is basically got nail on the head. The Vader series is the next most logical step.
I really don't need him to be, honestly. I don't need a Vader. I think everybody thinks that sounds cool, but then I think Vader is one of those characters. When they do old school horror movies. What made Halloween cool was that Jason, good Lord, Michael Myers was there, and then you didn't see him for 10 minutes, and then he was walking by in the background. I think Vader's better that way. If we're getting 50 minutes of Vader just going over orders on his ship, I think it's too much Vader. I don't know.
Then again, it wouldn't be you could do a very limited series, 3-episode thing, or
you could.
Oh, fucking a movie. We all it's all based on movies.
Movie.
We don't
You
need
shut
shows. We
your
don't need
mouth
fucking just
now.
shows. We need movies again. We need these
You
movies.
shut your mouth. Movies. Who does those still?